Hello everyone, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, where we're still setting up the American fleet for 1920. Today I want to have a go at the New Mexico, and I haven't actually copied the Pennsylvania because I want to use the Dreadnought 5 hull, because we're now starting to get into a displacement territory historically where this hull is actually fitting, and this would be one of the more modern designs because she would have been built not too long ago. So we'll have to see what we can get done here. Let's start out with 21 knots because standard type battleship, standard crew quarters, and see what we can find ourselves as a main tower. I think we have slightly different towers, but we still don't get cage masts, which is what I actually would have wanted for this period. But we'll probably work with what we've got. So that looks not historically correct, but reasonable, at least in terms of what this would have sort of looked like. And I think we can still stick the cage mast in the rear. Yes, we can still stick a cage mast in the rear. So we're going to go with the regular cage mast back here. Now, gun-wise, these would have been 14-inch triples. So, and we get all of them. So we'll stick one here, one in the rear, and then we're going to need a barbette for. We're going to need a barbette. I don't know why this one is called tall and this one's called very tall, but actually looks shorter. That's a bit monstrous. Which one is better out of these? I mean, they're heavier, but they provide more flash fire protection. So maybe we'll go with this one for now. Let's see what that looks like when we stick a 14-inch gun on it, which we can't do because the superstructure's in the way. All right, there we go. Okay. So much for the basics. And funnels. Okay, we've got different funnels now. How many funnels did these things have? Is that just one funnel here as well? Hang on. Yep, we're talking single funnel straight behind the forward superstructure. Funnily enough, pun intended, the funnel 4 doesn't actually fit in there. I might be able to if I move things around a bit more. But these things are going to be terribly forward weight offset already as they are, usually. At least that was the experience with the previous ones. Okay, that would fit. 140% engine efficiency, and we haven't even this on call, so we don't need that. Because this allows us to be a little bit more generous with the layout. And that is enough engine efficiency for miles, so we're good on that. We would have oil, and we can run on natural boilers because we have all the engine efficiency. My gosh, that is actually too much engine efficiency almost. And we're going to go with the more modern things, but I don't want to get too much into the ship flaw, ship flaws at this point. Let's stick with the hydraulics, but we're definitely going to go for Crop 4 and the more modern armor. Basically the modern things that we have. Reinforced bulkheads, anti-flood, and all or nothing armor scheme. And we are already getting reasonably close to where we to how far we can go, and we haven't even put the secondaries on. How many secondaries did we have? We had 14 5-inch 51 secondaries, so torpedo tubes, just so I don't forget. We can put these in the rear because I already know we're going to have problems with forward weight offset. And yes, we're still on 5-inch casemates. How many did I say? 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it in casemates. Where did she have the secondaries? Hang on. Okay, so she would not actually have had these because they found out that they're too wet. Although this does look like, at least these ones look like they would have been sort of in the right place. She didn't quite have this bulge here on the side as well, I think. But this is the hole that I'm going to work with here. So these would have been okay. And then I'm just, I'm not going to fill these out and she doesn't have the ones in front. So I don't think she would have had the casemates down here. Rather, she would have had it on top of the raised superstructure. So I'm probably just going to stick a couple of single barrel 5-inch guns. And yeah, these things are inaccessible, but I can put them up here. That looks sort of right-ish. It's not completely correct, but it's relatively close. So I think this is the best we can do with this hull. That's actually not 100% the right one. And we would have 8 3-inch single guns. So let's see where we can scatter these. 3-inch singles up here. And we can put one up here and one up there. And we can probably just put a couple. Why can I not use these platforms there? Can I put 2-inch single turrets onto these? Yes, I can. So we're just going to put a couple of 2 inches there, and then we call it quits, I think. So these are technically AA guns, all of these. And I think we have somewhat of a design. We do have a forward weight offset that we need to deal with, but I can easily move this funnel around to make a more balanced ship. I'm just going to stick it in the center for now, because now comes the arduous case of, did I put the torpedo launchers on? I think I did. They would be in the rear here. Yeah, there they are. Okay, so I did. Now comes the case of how are we going to set this all up? First of all, 20-inch torpedoes. Standard ratio, and I think we were on standard high capacity. Cordite and TNT. This is the starting fleet, by the way. So the very first thing I'm going to do when the actual campaign starts is to start designing, well, maybe a more modern battleship if we can, and just to get that going. But for now, I'm just sort of working with what I have, what we would have had roughly on a historical basis. So let's see if we can get the armor layout working. This is the same 13.5-inch belt, tapering to 8 forward and 8 aft. And then deck-wise, we would have had 3.5 inches. So let's make that uniform 3.5-inch deck. Conning tower would have been 11.5 inches. And the superstructure, we'll just give it 3 inches for now. Although that might have been ambitious, but let's see what we can stick in the citadel. I think we had something like 8. Okay, that's... How much can we put in here? That's it? Hang on, did I not put the all or nothing? This is the all or nothing scheme. Why am I having so small... I thought I had larger values in the last design. Maybe because it was a different hull? Could be. So in that case, let's just put what we can in there. There we go. Okay, belt we can still do. So I think that was 642 what we went with last. Turret face would have been 18 inches, and we'll give it 8 inches on top. Barbettes, I cannot remember what we had, and we're already overweight actually. So we will have to finagle there a little bit, but okay, let's begin with the 5-inch guns. You get a lot less here. 2 inches on the barbette. Barbette would have been, I think, something like 13 inches. So let's go with that. Casemates, definitely less armor than that. Okay, and we're still slightly over. We haven't done the caliber yet, because these were 50 caliber length 14-inch guns, and we're at 51. So I think 2%. No, that's 49. Okay, 14-inch 50s. And the 5-inch would be 50 calibers in length. Right now they are 43, so throw in what we've got. I think 48 was what we can get it up to. 49, okay, we'll take it. And the same goes for the casemates. And the casemates go to 45, which I think is not correct. I think it's 48, it just hasn't updated. But we are still somewhat overweight. Have we not done anything that needs doing? We may have to fiddle with the armor a little bit, or we just give it a bit more displacement. I'm not opposed to that. Let's try 33,000 tons displacement. That doesn't actually help an awful lot. Let's see if we can make her a little shorter. Not the torpedo tubes. Can we move this further back? I can't move that up there, so this is as far back as it goes. And we can move these gun turrets a little bit to the rear, which as usual confuses the AA gun on top of it. Okay, we can't actually do an awful lot here because of these. Oh, I see. We can't do an awful lot here because of these mounts, because they get in the way. If I remove the... Yeah, that's better. Okay, let's do that. And then they no longer get in the way, but we're still overweight. And we have a slightly forward weight offset. So we may have to be conserve a little bit. Let's get these down to 16 inches. That is almost getting us there. And we'll get down the top to 6 inches. There we go. Okay. Now we've suddenly got plenty of weight to play with, which means we can still move the engines around to deal with the forward weight offset. Okay. I think that was one too far. Come on. There we go. Okay. So we've still got a little bit of capacity, so we can actually probably see if we can stick that into the main deck and get that a little bit thicker. This concerns me a little bit. Let's see if we can get the forward and aft decks up to 4 inches. No, but we can probably get it up to something like 3.8. Yeah. 3.8 inches forward aft, balanced ship, and we have a starboard weight offset because something somewhere I have messed up. What is it? It must be one of the side-mounted things that has gone awry. The way we haven't deleted. So these are matched, these are matched, these are matched, these are matched, these are matched. Did I get rid of one of the torpedo tubes somewhere? I might have. By accident. Where are the torpedo tubes? There's the torpedo tube. Yeah, that was it. Okay, so I might have by accident gotten rid of the torpedo tubes. Can I still fit them back in again? Yes, I can actually. Okay, and now we are having an aft weight offset, which means we can just finagle the funnel a little forward. And there we go, a perfectly balanced battleship. Anything else that I missed? Standard high capacity, standard ratio, quarter TNT, looks good. Many bulkheads, 21 knots, 33,000 tons displacement. Ladies and gentlemen, the USS New Mexico. Looks almost like the thing. It just needs more cage masts in the front, but we're getting there. And yet another of the standard type battleships.